Hi friends, today I have few queries for you, and let's start with a query and further we'll expand with some interesting ideas I have built on top of this. So my ask is, have you ever noticed like a page break is not appearing, or page not found, or it's not loading, it's got into an infinite waiting period? So how was your reaction? What you understood, why it happened? I know you might have some background knowledge about it, but let's discuss it further. So probably there are so many chances when a page break, but I want to focus on the part development, and some of the development concept are responsible for that. So think once. If a page which is responsible for providing your result is breaking, expected loaded of data at a particular time, then how does this Amazon, Google, Flipkart, they're serving hell lot of data always, like crawling Amazon. There will be 100,000 products, they keep on loading without any page break. Architecture is such a way that their page will not break. So let's discuss about it further. So normally what happens when you load a particular page, you create the DOM. DOM is the document object model, and wherein you use markup language like HTML, and it has different divs, forms, tag, element tag, which is responsible for creating that web page. And in that you show some data. Sometimes you create a form to capture some data, sometimes it's a panel or it's a paragraph tag to show some content or dynamic data. So from where does those data comes? So normally content comes from Adobe CQ5 or AEM. Those are the tools who are highly efficient, and it's by Adobe. There are so many other things are there. I'm not doing any brand promotion, but as I worked in that, so that's what I'm mentioning it. Those are the data content containers wherein the approved content can be saved, and that can be called through different URLs, and that is for the content. Content means the generic English content you are seeing in a site, English or in any language. And the dynamic data, let's say you are seeing some name, some personal details, or some product details. Those are not static, those are the dynamic data, and those data normally we save in database or JSON libraries, or there will be another server, backend server, Oracle server, or there are so many SQL, Oracle database related server which we can use as a backend, and there the data usually gets stored. And from that, through the database connection and properly validating the server, we can able to consume those data and showcase in the front end. But as that is in another server, and during the peak time means when most of the user trying to access the same server together at a time, the load used to be too much. And as those educational based websites, they are not built for meeting those kind of load, or solving that big problem, so they won't able to handle it. So what is that I'm always asking about? Solving problem, meeting load. Is that something out of the box? No, it's very simple. If you remember in my previous session, I said I'm gonna elaborate the synchronous and asynchronous, right? So right now I'm gonna talk about it. So most of the client side scripting like JavaScript, so it is synchronous. So it means once particular line of code won't execute, the next line will not get processed. In that case, when you are doing HTTP service call, AJAX call, or you are trying to get some data from another server. That time what happen is your that particular request takes a lot of time. It takes normally than the usual time a browser takes to process or to load a page. So each browser has their processing unit and they have particular time set to process certain document. So by that time, if document is not ready with the content and data, it's keep on loading or it's keep on accessing some feature like some of the assets or some content, images, videos, then that page crashes. Normally page crashes means it won't able to deliver on time. Either it crashes or it goes on to a waiting halt or wait, so wherein it won't load. So that's the typical thing happen. Normally sometimes it happen due to poor internet connection, network connection. We have to use asynchronous method, which is already exposed by JavaScript for doing such kind of operation or manipulation, where it involves to contact to different server or it involves to do external API call and to get some data or do some operation or some third party manipulation. So therein we should use asynchronous method. Now let's come to the asynchronous method. Now we have multiple asynchronous method like set timeout and set interval, and these are the method wherein you can set some timer like some millisecond or some time, and you can able to do or your service call. So there are a lot of APIs like Axios, and in Redux also I have used few many Saga middleware. So many things are there, and some promise based API which also has certain feature which is also wrapped on top of this asynchronous method. So that within that you can call your function, which is gonna take a lot of time to get processed, and then what happen, your page execution will not get affected by that. By the time your that function will back with some return data, some flag or some set of object or some data, your page or your DOM would have completely executed or ready to execute. Illustrate it further, I'm taking a simple example wherein I'm gonna show you how infinite loop works, and in that infinite loop I'm going to show you how can we understand the synchronous and asynchronous differences. So let's see here. I have chosen a simple sample code where I declared this var as welcome to async check var a, and then I'm printing URL with appending that var, and then I am doing a console log infinite loop. Then let me do another console log like I'm gonna print are we done or something, any text, just to see like just to show you the infinite loop, how it works, the synchronous nature. Are we done? Okay, and here we go. Let's run this. It's an infinite loop and I'm gonna face a lot of issue in terms of like my processor will cry now. Okay, now you can see I can able to print the first var value, but I'm also keep printing the infinite loop. If you can see here, the counts is increasing. It means it's printing that many times, but I'm not able to print the are we done, because while 1 equal to 1 is a true scenario, it means true, and we are in infinite loop. So if you can see here, as I said in synchronous, until the first block of code or first piece of code will not execute, the next piece of code will not. So the print for this are we done is not coming, but the other one is keep on loading. Let me kill it. My processor started crying. Let me see how can I kill it. I just have to do stop the script Normally you can stop the script. Let's see whether it stopped. Oh no. Let me see if I can kill that tab. Yes, I did. Here we have the same method, like I have taken the infinite loop inside the set timeout method, which is a asynchronous method of JavaScript. And let's see, let's run it. You can see here we would able to print the first line, the variable value, and we are able to print the next one, like we are not at done line, but the loop, the infinite loop is still going on, and it started. Oh my god, so I again have to kill it. So why it is happening is JavaScript is single threaded, Node.js is single threaded, and it get processed. Now here the Chrome browser is processing it. So what actions we are doing, it has to go one after another in queue into the processor unit, wherein it will get processed, and as that was under a condition which is infinite and forever kind of, so it won't stop automatically. We have to stop that script. Sometimes you would have seen when we go for downloading freewares or watching movies in certain site, there we get some pop-up or some script running which won't stop. Those are placed under such conditions or scenarios. Oh my god. Okay, now again I fall into that script hang situation, like I'm not able to close my Chrome because that closing that script is trouble now. It's really tough. And yeah, what I want to say is that's the difference between the synchronous and asynchronous method, wherein we do have different scenarios, like doing a call to different server or using third-party stuff. We don't know the amount of time that process gonna take to get processed. In that case, we should go for the asynchronous methods. We should use different asynchronous method offered by JavaScript if we are doing that coding in JavaScript. And yes, I'll be coming up with different HTTP protocol uses. I have to create some services, some REST URL for that. So I'll be coming up with that in my next video, and I hope you like it. Yeah, I'm sure I'm very raw with my video editing. I'm learning, and I believe you guys will bear my editing. By the time I'll become a pro, and I'll make some good visual presentation, and yeah, with real-time scenarios. So that's all for now, and I hope you must taken a gist out of what I want to say. All the best for your learning. Thank you.